Hello guys, it's that time again. We are going to do what we love best. It's time to feed the children. So come join me and we enjoy feeding the children. Come guys.
So habari yenyu, how are you my people? So my name is Gabriel Maina Njeri. I'm a counseling psychologist by profession. So I'm 28 years old. I reside in Kahawa West, Kamai area. Also, I'm the founder of Oasis of Little Friends. It's a small CBO located in Kahawa West area, Nairobi, where we engage in different activities like feeding program, youth empowerment program, and also creative recycling, so that we can tackle the issue of environmental preservation and also the issue of food security. Like 20 years ago, I used to be a street boy in the big city of Nairobi. So I started as a street boy when I was at a very little age, like 7-8 years. That's when I joined the streets, because when I was growing up, we started having some challenges at home where my parents became violent. Even my mom became an alcoholic. So even my dad started indulging in consuming of illicit brew, which is changa, which is a big threat in our area, in our local area. So when my parents started to become alcoholics, so I also gradually started not getting what I want as a child. I was neglected, I was abused, and everything that bad could happen to a child also happened to me. So sometime I started to go to the street to look for food for myself and my younger siblings, and it became a habit. So every time I would go to the street and come back at home, I go to the street, I come back at home. But life was never easy. Sometimes I would find myself very much comfortable in the street than at home, because at home I never used to have the peace that I required as a child. I never used to get the education that I wanted as a child. But also life in the street was not easy. And one of the biggest challenge that I would face as a street boy is discrimination, where nobody want to associate with a street child because they consider them to be maybe criminals, violent, and such kind of things. Also, when it comes to borrowing food, like for instance, if today I borrow you food, tomorrow you won't be able to give me more food. You ask me so many questions about my parents, which also brings a lot of traumatic experience, and it had a very negative impact in my life. But through God's grace, I found some people who are really ready to help a needy child, and I was never that bad in school. So when I got an opportunity through the Catholic Church, which I was taken by the Catholic sisters, who are the Franciscan Elizabethan sisters, so they came into the street, recognized the street children who really needed to go to school, who really came from very poor and vulnerable families, and I qualified to be one of them. So when I went back to school, I made a promise to myself that I will work so hard that when I come back to my community, not a single child will go hungry in my community again. And that's why when I finished school, when I graduated, now that I'm a counseling psychologist, I decided not even to engage in my counseling work as a professional, to go into the hospital or work in a psychiatric hospital. I decided to come back to my community and face the same challenges that I faced as a child. So currently I'm having a small feeding program, which we started under the CBO, so that we can feed all vulnerable children in our community. Because you find that when a child is hungry, they venture into very dangerous places and look for just a meal, just a warm meal. Somewhere they can just go, sit down, relax, have a talk, dance, and just have a simple meal and then go at home. So that's when we decided as a group that we should start a small CBO, which will tackle the issue of food security among children. So we come here, we feed children, we dance together, we play together. So actually we make a child feel at home. When they come to us, they feel at home, because this is a place where we have a lot of love, a lot of care, where we cherish one another. We are all brothers and we are all sisters. In our CBO, we have different objectives. So our main objective is to field any vulnerable child in our community, because like I said earlier, so many children in my area come from very, very vulnerable families, where you find that you have a father is an alcoholic, the mother is an alcoholic, and the child is very vulnerable. They are mostly neglected. So our main objective is to feed a hungry child, because there is a saying that says that a hungry man is an angry man. And most of the time when you walk on the side of the road, you find so many children in very devastated kind of mind. And this is basically caused by them not having enough food at home because of maybe their parents lost job during the COVID pandemic. Some of them never even had that job. So our main objective is to feed the child. Our next objective is to empower any child, any vulnerable child, through creativity, through talent promotion, and also through education, because we find a lot of children are not able to concentrate on their own education. Why? Because they lack the essentials that are required in school, like books, pencils, uniform, shoes, and some of them have a lot of challenges when it comes to education. Even I myself growing up, it was so very challenging to go to school and concentrate because of lack of these basic needs. Our other objective is also to provide the basic needs. Like you find that some child who come from very vulnerable families, they don't even have decent clothing. They have worn clothes, worn shoes, and when you see a child on the road is not very much presentable. So if we give that child what they need to be comfortable at that particular time, it's what is going to make us happy. When you walk around this compound, you'll find that most children are very happy and comfortable being here, because our main objective is also to make them comfortable, because also we take care of issue of mental health, because our other objective is to promote their mental health and their mental growth. Because you see there is a stereotype where people think that children don't suffer from mental health kind of problems, but in reality when you come to the ground, if you hear the children tell their own stories about their own families, you will be surprised. So many of the children are going under a lot of mental pressure, because they are being pressured by their own parents, they are being pressured at school. So when they come at home, they want to relax and enjoy themselves as children. And the objective as Oasis of Little Friends is to provide that kind of environment for these needy children, where they can come, sit down, relax, eat, make good friends, and do everything that a child needs to do to feel good and to feel healthy. Currently, we are engaging in a lot of activities with our children, because our aim is to make them happy. So currently, we are doing some creative dance, where we come do some TikTok trends, we dance together. Also, as you see, we beat a lot of drums here. So when you come here, it's like you are in a Wakanda nation, because we are all happy, a lot of energy. And also we are trying to develop a new sport in our area, because when you walk around in our area, you'll find a lot of children playing football, engaging, mostly it's football. But now in our CBO, we want to introduce athletics, because when I was in high school, I also used to do athletics, and I used to enjoy a lot of athletics. But you find that when you come to this area, when you come to the ground, you find that a lot of children are not taught about athletics at a very early age. So we thought that it will be wise if we introduce athletics to our CBO, and it becomes part of the activities that we do, so that when children go maybe to high school, they become familiar with some of the games that they play there. So we started some athletics, where we do some field events and track events. So where we do some 100 meters, 200 meters, steeplechase, and also we do some field events such like javelin, discus, which our aim is to promote the kind of talent that these children have, because over the years, so many people thought that education is the key to success. But now you have a lot of graduated people, but they lack the kind of skills that is required to survive in the outside world. But when we come here and empower these children, not only just to give them food, but also we promote their talent, we empower them in a way, we give them an opportunity, like an equal opportunity, so that when they go outside there, they are able to represent themselves and have a career out of this kind of sport and this kind of activities that we do. Since Oasis of Little Friend is a charity kind of organization, because CBO means community-based organization, and when you come to the ground, when you come to educate people, when you come to create awareness of what is a CBO, you find that so many people don't realize how a CBO works and what are the kind of say logistics that are supposed to be there for a CBO to work. But with time, we started small training. We started to recruit some volunteers in our own community, where we tell people what are the main objective of the CBO, what do we intend to do with the activity that we do in our CBO. And currently we are having some very positive feedback, where we have a lot of people volunteering. Like right now, you find that I have so many people who come to help us cook food for the children. So we don't pay them, because we are a charitable organization. So it's just people who volunteer, they come join us, and they start cooking for the children, because they have realized that our children is our responsibility, our community is our responsibility. And if we are not in the foreline to tackle this kind of problems and challenges that are faced by our children, we will face a community of a lost generation, because we'll find a lot of children will just be lost in the cycle of drug and substance abuse. But now we are having a very positive impact. We've created a lot of awareness. We started connecting with a lot of people, a lot of stakeholders, a lot of donors, so that they can join us and we tackle this problem of child neglect, child abuse, and also this issue of hunger. So our community is coming along, pole pole, they are coming along, and we are sure that in the future we are going to have the whole community behind our back. Currently our target population is very easy. So for now we are just targeting any child that is below 18 years. So why are we doing this? So we don't separate them in terms of where do you come from, where do you live, do you eat at home or do you not live at home, because our aim is to create a safe and healthy environment for a child to grow, because our aim is not only to feed the child physically, but we also to feed them mentally. And you know that if you want to feed a child mentally, you must give them that a conducive environment where they can express themselves, where they can make friends, and also where they can just sit down, relax, and feel at home. So basically what we are doing that is that we are taking all children, all ages. Even you find that we have small children, because you find that some days a child has come with their younger sibling, either a brother, a sister, who maybe are below even 3 years. So for them, we welcome all of them. They come here. Whatever we have cooked, we share. So we make children to become responsible of their own siblings, where a child will feel their own sibling, and you see they are doing it very well. Even those who don't have young sibling, you can see themselves trying to help other people to maybe take care of the child when the other one is doing some activities. And we've created a very conducive environment. We've created good friendship with children, and this is the environment when you come, you'll feel blessed, you'll feel the kind of love that is flowing with us. Thank you. The first step when you want to empower a very young child is to create that conducive environment, like I said earlier, because when you come here, like the kind of energy, most of the time these children consume the energy that I have. So when I come one day and I'm feeling very low and I display that kind of negative energy to the children, you find that the whole day we spend it on a very low energy. But when I come early in the morning and I feel that my energy is up there, so I come, we beat the drums, we psych the children up, and once the children are psyched up, we start our own activities. So it's not very challenging, but it requires a lot of determination, a lot of dedication, and we believe that with the correct mindset, with correct kind of help, we are able to change our community, because change is easy. Because we don't do the change right now, the future might not be bright as we think. The major challenge that we are having is shortage of food, because you realize that when we started this organization, this CBO in 2021, we were at least feeding 30 children, so which was very manageable. But as time passed, now we have more than 200 children coming who attend the feeding program, and it's our responsibility to make sure that any child that attend our feeding program at least have a hot meal when they go back at home. So our main challenge here is finding food. We are sending this kind of regards. Anybody outside there who feel that whatever we are doing is worth it, so please support us, because when you come here, and maybe sometimes we also have an issue with the volunteers, because when it comes to charity, a lot of people run away from charity because it requires your time, it requires your money, it requires your determination, it even requires your sweat and blood, because at the end of the day nobody is going to pay you to do what we do here every day. So sometimes we have that kind of challenge when it comes to labor force, where a lot of people don't want to volunteer, and if they volunteer today, tomorrow you find that somebody is not there. So you find that you have to cook for 200 children and you are just 2 of you, so you have to work extra hard. But what makes me happy is the kind of children that I have in my feeding program, because some of them come very early in the morning, they help me prepare the beans, chop the potatoes, prepare even the food, the meal for other children. Because by doing also this, we are also able to engage the children to the basis that they learn that we are not doing this for them, but we are doing this together. Because once they come, they help us prepare the food, share the food, distribute the food. We create that kind of cohesion where a child learns that they are each other's caregiver. So the kind of challenge that we are having right now is food. Because once we have enough food, we are able to run this all our activities in a very conducive way without having a lot of challenges. Because even like today, some of children didn't have enough food, some of them didn't take a meal. Why? Because we had a very large number. So you can see the need is there, the children are there, the community is willing to give us their children so that we can empower them. But please, please, we need food. I repeat again, food. I remember there was a day when I came here. I have told the children to come. I had more than 150 children, but I came and I found out that I didn't have enough food for 150 children. So at that instant, I had to look for ways where I can just raise enough food to give the children. So I had to go back to my own home, collect the food I have at home, bring it to the children, cook for them, but still you would find that the food was not enough. And this is not an instance for one day. So most of the time I come here and I don't have enough food to feed the children. So I have to go back to the community, go door to door begging. And as you know, it's not very easy to beg, but sometimes I have to take all my dignity down, go door to door begging to feed these children in my community. Apart from the feeding program, our CBO also engage in other activities. So we have youth empowerment programs where we train, basically we train youth on creative and organic farming. So when we come to the issue of creative recycling, so we take maybe some car tires, old car tires, we transform them into very beautiful house furnitures, house decoration. And also when we come to issue of food security, because currently in the whole world we have a lot of challenges when it comes to food security. Basically those people living in urban areas, they lack the sustainable ways to feed themselves, because even if you go to the market, the kind of vegetables, the kind of food that you get is not healthy anymore. So basically we've started training young youth, where we train them on organic ways to farm, also which are very urban. So we train youth on urban and organic farming, where we create vertical gardens. So these are some of the activities that we generate to try and create more sustainability for the feeding program, because we just don't do this indoors. So when you are interested in this kind of maybe vertical gardens, so we've already trained a team of youth who are able to make this kind of garden. We go into your own compound, we make for you beautiful kind of urban garden which suits your own environment. But apart from that, I say that I'm a counseling psychologist by profession. So I do some counseling sessions, I have group sessions, I have community-based sessions where I engage a lot of people in the community. When I'm able to get a little kind of money, so these are the kind of money we also channel into our feeding program, so that we are able to feed this kind of children. So we are all rounded. When it comes to helping our community, we don't just stop at children. We go to the youth, also we go to the women and other vulnerable members of our community, because in our community we have a lot of issue of drug and substance abuse, mostly among the parents and also among the youth. So basically when we do this, we tackle all issues when it comes to our community, from mental health, when it comes to employment for our youth, when it comes to nutrition for our young children. And these are the ways that we are creating to make our CBO more sustainable. Anybody who is interested to reach us, at Oasis of Little Friends CBO. So we are located in Kahawa West along the Eastern Bypass. This is just opposite KU Referral Hospital. So if you want to reach us, if you want to communicate with us, we have our social media handles. We are in Facebook. That is at Oasis of Little Friends. We are at Twitter at Oasis of Little Friends. We also have a Gmail account, oasisoflittlefriends@gmail.com. Also, if you want to communicate with me, I'm the chairperson, I'm the founder of this organization. You can reach me through my number, which is 0702-045-847, which is our office number. Also, if you would like to donate, we are not just limited to food kind of donation, because we have children from all kind of vulnerable families who don't have clothes, who don't have shoes. Even if you want to donate some maybe education materials like books, some pencil. Even we invite people who just go and cook for children. Like there is people who cook chapati for children, because we are nearing the festive season. So ask yourself, how are you going to bless maybe a needy person during this festive season? So please come join us. Come at the Oasis of Little Friends Kids Center. This is where we are located currently. Come do something for these children, and God will bless you. Will bless you so much, because we live for feeding these children. And there is a saying that Mother Teresa said, that if you can't feed 1,000 children, if you can't feed 1,000 people, then just feed one child. So please come here. Don't feed 100 children. Just feed that one child, and God will bless you so much.
My name is Esther Nzioka. At Oasis of Little Friends, I'm a teacher, and during the holiday, I chip in as a helper, helping in the kitchen. Okay, the challenges are, for example, people come in, they promise to help us, but at the end of the day, we don't get help. At the end of the day, we just find it's we ourselves who get drained, but we don't give out at the end of it all. Currently, we need food because the population that we have, it's very high. Before we were feeding 30 kids, 40 kids, and we were in a position to feed them. But currently, we are feeding 150, 200, 250. So it's a challenge to us, and things are not good on our side. So at the end of the day, we need help. In our community, we have different people who help us, and still they have allowed us to mingle with the kids, and that's why they allow the kids to come in and help us, because we have got still women who come to help us in the kitchen. Okay, we offer children with knowledge, because for example, there are times that we invite mentors. There are times we invite people who teach children different things like football, athletics, games, and dances like traditional dances and still the modern dances. Governor Sakaja, how I wish that you help us, because we really do what you normally do when the schools are open, but on our side we'll do what you do when the schools are closed. So we really wish that you can chip in and help us.